Since the last Fortnite update just took place and all of a sudden the bugs were completely gone, a lot of the Fortnite community has been a little bit upset, and honestly, I was a little bit upset about everything as well because I initially saw this and I was like, oh great, Epic Games, so they just vaulted the entirety of the season again. I was kind of getting the same vibes back in the Greek season when the Avatar collab ended up coming in. They just vaulted absolutely everything, but there is a little bit more to talk about this entire thing. I still am worried about this. I'm still a little bit disappointed in the story, but We'll open up about everything for you today. I'm going to give my thoughts, and of course, we're going to get the reaction from the Fortnite community as well. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. So, before we actually take a look, and I want to give my opinion on everything, Restro ended up posting about what is actually going on with the storyline right here, okay? Because it wasn't actually just an update. Well, the thing that I worry about is they're just masking it of an update where it's like, well, people didn't really like the bugs, so we'll vault them. This is the reason for it, you know? I don't have that much faith in the storyline right now. Like, don't get me wrong, it's been better throughout Chapter 6. It's been 100% better. But it's still not to the point where I'm like, I'm sure there's a bigger, deeper meaning to this. You know what I mean, okay? So this is what Rez tried to say. The bugs might have actually retreated. Dr. Theodore Flysby claims that the Onimorphs were planning on devouring this reality, so them leaving is very strange. What do you mean, gone? They don't just simply up and leave for no reason. The Onimorphs were well on their way to devouring this reality, I assure you. Unless something further up the food chain is on its way. I should go. He mentions that something further up the food chain is on its way. The only other thing that we've seen further up the food chain from the spirit realm is the tentacle monster. So it might be returning later this season or during the season finale. I don't really look at the tentacle monster because I just... They've been making such a big deal about the dark presence that I think whatever actually ends up being the dark presence from the spirit realm, well, I know that like the tentacle monster was from the spirit realm, but I think whatever we're waiting for about the dark presence, I know a bunch of people have different theories on what exactly that's going to be. I hope that's the case, that there actually is something bigger up the food chain coming, and if that's the case, then I'm thinking about, okay, with the way they've done stuff in Chapter 1, like the Chapter 1 storyline is what we all love, right? The Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 storyline, they've done similar things where we have, okay, there's a little bit of a storyline going on this season, and at least it wasn't them just deleting it. But the problem is, I don't have a ton of faith in it anymore, and I worry that this just could be Epic Games just deleting the bugs, and we're going to move on. I also worry about this big time because apparently, according to a bunch of leakers and a bunch of people, like, you know, in the knowing with Epic Games, the finale event is going to be heavily storyline related, and we're actually going to see the Dark Presence, and that Dark Presence is not going to be a collab. Even if it's not a collab, okay, let's say all of that's real and it's great, the Dark Presence is the coolest thing ever, even if the Dark Presence was Geno. Like, if we were completely satisfied with that entire storyline, I still worry about what's coming, and it's like, oh, Homer Simpson's just gonna come in and just, you know, he's gonna have one of those, like, chicken fight, oh no, that's Family Guy, you know what I mean, you get my point. Homer Simpson's gonna come in and do something where it's just like, Homer Simpson being stupid, you know, like, I'm not too familiar with The Simpsons, but I get the gist of Homer Simpson and who he is. You know, he's going to walk in, he's going to do something goofy with a dark presence, and that's going to be our story. That's what I don't want as a fan of Fortnite, and that's what I don't want as a fan of the Fortnite storyline. That's why I'm worried about this entire thing. They could just be doing a Doctor Doom thing, too. Remember how great the storyline was in chat? I know I'm not one of those guys. I promise you with all my heart, if you guys don't follow the channel, I actually really, really dislike Chapter 5, but something that I loved about Chapter 5 was how they handled the storyline for Chapter 5, Season 4. What I was disappointed about was, oh, Doom's gone. That was it. Like, there's no lasting consequences. There's nothing about the story that really changed moving forward, you know? I didn't like how any of that was handled. I liked it all up until then, but then there was just nothing about it, you know? I'm just worried a little bit. So I could see this being like, you know, actual good storytelling, Epic Games actually really, really trying, but the problem is I just don't trust them. But of course, it's not just about what I have to say about this. I want to get the Fortnite opinions, the Fortnite community's opinion on the whole thing as well. I ended up saying this over on X. Well, everyone's talking about the bugs being gone all of a sudden. We'll talk about it in a video. What are your thoughts on how the bug storyline ended? Are you disappointed or looking forward to what's next? Drop your thoughts and I will include some replies. Thank you for your time. If you want to join the conversation, follow me over on X at ClenYouTuber. You can find the direct links to X at the link tree at the top of the description or the direct link to X within the description down below. If you scroll a little bit, we'd love to have you in this conversation. We took replies from myself and people on the Explore page. A lot of people have been talking about this, so like and subscribe if you have not already, guys. Let's hear what the Fortnite community had to say about this, okay? Drift Fortnite had this to say. Very disappointed. It's clear Epic doesn't care about the storyline anymore. Compare this with something we would get in Chapter 3, 2, and 1. It's really sad that they just threw away an entire storyline just for collabs. Well, the thing, I should have touched on the whole Fortnitemares thing. We still don't know what's going to be coming in Fortnitemares. It's looking like it's just going to be a bunch of collabs. Like, it's escaping my memory. I'm very sorry. It's a collaboration, whoever is going to be, you know, the big baddie of Fortnitemares. I know that people in the past have actually tried to be like, you know, and it's the same conversation that we've had when the Rock was revealed to be the Foundation. I have issues with that as a storyline fan. I don't want it to just be a collaboration. I want it to be Fortnite original. That's what I like about it. And they're like, oh, it's the same thing as like, it's just the actor playing this character. I don't look at it that way. I can't bring myself to like it more. I just think it's Epic Games wanting to bring the Rock in the game. You know, and same with is whatever. I don't mean to be one of those guys. I'm sorry. It's a Doja Cat that's coming. I'm having a huge blank on whoever it is, but there's gonna be a big collab for Fortnitemares. I just hope that there's actual, like, you know, Dark Presence elements with this. I don't want the collab Big Boss and Fortnitemares to be the Dark Presence. You know, I'm trying so hard to like love this storyline and follow it again, but it's just like making me take a couple steps back every once in a while. You know, but I'm not ready to just completely hate on it yet. I'm not ready. So I'm still sticking to it. I'm still getting excited to see what's next. Fortnite lore approved had this to say. Not even Kato Thorn got done dirtier than these bugs. Yay, you did it. You defeated the bugs. Good job. That's really all that we were missing, to be honest with you. Let's continue on to Pumpkin Panda. Literally this. We did it. We saved Peely. Thank you. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, the Peely storyline, the Jones storyline, it's just... It's a tough one, guys, to be honest with you. I dislike the fact that it happened with no build-up or warning, especially since it was apparently used by Megazord. I do like that most of the gameplay map changes, but it could have just been done weeks ago as a new season, and it's kind of scary. I don't like how ranks are just gone now. I hate how exotics and mythics are now free in bunkers, which just open without ranks. I don't know how the boons and pod weapons are gone, and they still haven't fixed the balancing with certain weapons, so yeah, it should have been Season 5. Yeah, it really... But here's the thing. A lot of us, a lot of times, really like to talk about how Epic Games doesn't update their game enough. Epic Games doesn't do enough this season. There's not enough changes. They changed something significant about this, and I'm not calling out Spoopy for this. I'm just saying, like, I'm disappointed in it as well. I like the bug theme. I wanted it to stay. I wish that we could have had a gradual ending to the bugs. Like, how cool would it have been? Like, it's these little quality of life things that they could have. Like, let's say we had an entire week where the skybox was changed, and that's something that they've been playing around with throughout the entire chapter a little bit. We could see bugs just kind of like going away. That would have been a very, very nice touch, and then that would have brought everybody, but there's another problem with the leaks, is we would have figured that out. The leaks would have been like, oh, the bugs are going to be retreating, and it's going to be leading to this. Oh, well, so much for that surprise. That's just what I miss about it. We don't have any surprises anymore. How cool would it have been if we saw the bugs kind of like flying away or retreating away, or even every once in a while, people would have to figure out in game where the bugs wouldn't attack you anymore, and they would kind of just like run away. That's something that a lot of storyline fans would notice, and then we would be theorizing about those types of things. That's a better way that you could handle it, to be honest with you, but Spoopy also has a little bit of frustrations with the game, understandably so, to be honest with you. Alexander had this to say. Nope, it's, oh, Doja Cat, that's who it is. Sorry, I was having a little bit of a blank in my mind. It's going to be Doja Cat. Doja Cat is the demon from the spirit realm. You know I'm going to give it a chance, but damn, I am tired of real-life people taking places among storyline characters. That's what I don't like. Oh, whew. Please tell me this is real, because I haven't seen this. It's confirmed the leaks of the Dark Presence isn't Doja Cat. I was very worried about that. Hopefully that's not the case, but I'm always for giving these types of things a chance. I will absolutely, and like, don't get me wrong, as much as I love the storyline, guys, gameplay comes first for me. I enjoy playing this game. I enjoy logging in with my friends. The storyline and all that type of stuff comes second. It's just like, you know, additions to why I love this game so much. So I am always going to give these seasons and these updates a chance. It's just the storyline's been disappointing me here and there, right? Jakku had this to say. Okay, this is so much better than us defeating them. Giving us a false victory before the Spirit Realm takeover would be so fire. If it's done properly, absolutely it would be fire. That would be fantastic, but I don't really trust Epic Games. That's the problem right now. Todd had this to say. Honestly, I think this makes sense. We're getting ready for Fortnitemares, which means the Spirit Realm will be taking over the entire map. This Fortnitemares just maybe the best one since Chapter 2, Season 8. We've got so many good collabs. The collabs look great. The collabs look phenomenal, and I am happy when it comes to collaboration skins, and for a Halloween event, go like completely off as much as you can, bring in all the collab skins. That would be awesome. I'm talking about like core storyline. Like, I don't like Doja Cat being a boss in there. I would prefer it to not be demon or K-pop demon hunters taking over Horde Rush. I understand, like, you guys gotta understand what I'm talking about, man. Like, I enjoy collabs. I welcome collabs. I think it's awesome when it's, like, intertwined into the gameplay. But when we're talking about the storyline, when we're talking about, like, husks taking over and stuff like that, when we're talking about this new thing from the Spirit Realm being on the map, I just don't want it to be Doja Cat. But then again, we all liked it back in Chapter 2, Season 5 when Jones was going fishing for a bunch of collaborations. I don't know. Maybe we've really been overwhelmed a little bit, but I guess we'll find out. You know what, again, I'll wait to judge, okay? According to Timu Baxter Stockman, we didn't beat the bugs. He said the Onimorphs don't just leave for a reason. Unless something further up the food chain is on its way. I should go. Yes, that's something that we were talking about. And this is the type of thing that I like to see in dialogue. Like, it's evident that Epic Games has been doing a better job with the storyline. I'm happy with all of this. It's just, I'm afraid that they just took off for no reason. And we're never going to hear about them again. We're never going to see them again. And then the Dark Presence is going to be a little bit of a disappointment. They just needed a reason to vault the bugs. That's what I'm worried about. Plus, I think it would have been really cool, too, to have a Fortnitemares with the bugs. I know a bunch of people from this community has expressed that opinion, like, make them demonic somehow. You know, there's so many little things that you can do with these bugs to make them scary for Fortnitemares. I would have preferred that twist. T-Hawk had this to say. Something further up the food chain. Homer Simpson is going to eat the 0 point thinking it's a donut hole. That's the type of thing that I was talking about. Honestly. And I'm worried that something like, and you know what? The Dark Presence may not be a collab. Fine. But I'm worried that something like this is going to happen. Homer's going to walk in laughing, oh, what is this, a donut? You know? Like, it just replace the 0 point with the Spirit Portal. The Spirit Portal comes back, and a bunch of things are coming out of it. Oh, it's the Dark Presence, guys. It's actually Geno. You see him inside the actual Spirit Realm. It's here. It's finally here, the Dark Presence. We're at the live event. This thing's about to bust out. And then Homer Simpson just comes in and eats it. I really, really, really could, with the state of the storyline right now, see something like that happening. I'm not just yapping for no reason about that. I'm not just joking around. Like, I can actually see something like that happening. And if that happens, I will officially lose hope in the story. Completely. Because they have me a little bit, but I'm falling off, man, okay? The Notorious Dog had this to say. Instead of just taking away all of it in a snap, it should have decreased over time. They should have done a big takeover for this update, and throughout Fortnitemares, reverse the progress in some big way. Still a really fun season, and this chapter, apart from the mini-seasons, were all S. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. I think I said something similar. I would have liked to see a decrease in it and let us theorize about it. But then again, like I was mentioning, it wouldn't really fix all that much because we would still have the leak issue. There's so many, like, easy ways that Epic Games could really fix this game. And I know that a lot of Fortnite players really talk about that, but I'm so truthful right now, and I know it's a big leak issue. I know it. It's crazy, and I don't want to hear in the comments, guys. I understand your point. I don't want to hear in the comments, well, it's like, well, just stay off of social media. I'm not going to spend my entire life off of social media just to avoid some video game spoilers. I'm not going to do that. Conversation for another time, but yeah, I would have liked to see it decrease over time, man. Let's continue on over to another user over here. Well, I think it's a bit of a cop-out to do this in one update, but I understand how it would be hard to thread all the Fortnitemares stuff throughout the bug invasion. Another L for the storyline. I'm not ready to call it an L yet, but it does seem like it is going to be an L, and I am worried it's just a cop-out. Hey, let's just add this text box over here. That's what I'm worried about, okay? Further up the food chain. Oh, could you imagine? That would be so nice. Could you imagine after criticizing this entire thing, it's just... we talk about this thing that's up the food chain, and then the cube cradle just comes in. Again, editing the skybox like I was talking about. How cool would that be to just drop this thing? But then again, you still have to worry about the Homer Simpson aspect. Oh, Homer Simpson goes to space. I'm so worried for that season, man. I think the Power Rangers killed the Queen, so the Dark Presence tried taking over the island of the demons that we have in Demon Rush now. That's always possible. You never know, right? It's going to be interesting how this entire thing plays out, because again, it certainly has potential, 100%. I'm just worried. But if you are also worried about the state of Fortnite, a lot of people have made a lot of noise about Rainbow Royale and Epic Games not doing it again. If you want to talk about that, check out this video right here. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care, guys.